Welcome back to Fett's Legacy, everyone. I am back today to talk about the second episode of Kenobi. So, obvious spoiler warning ahead, guys. If you haven't seen it, please go watch the second episode first because I will be talking about the major points in the episode in this video. So, guys, please go watch the second episode first. And before we move on, if you guys could like and subscribe, I really appreciate it and it helps me out a lot. And yeah, I appreciate all the support you guys give me. So make sure to like and comment. Just let me know what you guys think about the episode down below. So guys, we start off this episode with Obi-Wan landing on Daiyu, which is a new planet in Star Wars, which we've never actually seen before. And we learn quickly that it is a crime-filled planet. A lot like maybe the lower levels of Coruscant, those kind of vibes. So we learn that transmissions are blocked in and out of here. And we see quickly Kenobi sees a clone trooper begging for credits, and it is Tamara Morrison obviously playing the clone trooper, which was great to see. I love Tamara Morrison. I was surprised that the clone trooper didn't recognize Kenobi, as he was a 5-0 first trooper, and you know they were under Anakin, and I'm sure they would have seen Kenobi quite a bit, so that was a bit surprising to me. But nonetheless, I was very happy to see Tamara Morrison. I hope we see him playing Commander Cody in the show, and hopefully Boba Fett, which we will talk about later, but happy to see him. So guys, Obi-Wan is learning, some terrible things about the planet. He's seeing all this crime. He's trying to get some information, and this spice dealer gives him some spice. And that dealer was actually Ewan McGregor's daughter in real life. That is his real daughter, so that was pretty cool. Another boy on the street brings Kenobi to a quote-unquote Jedi, but we learn he is just a fake, and his name is Haja. And Kenobi realizes it's a fake and calls him out for lying, and says, "You're gonna help me find the girl," which is obviously Leia. So Haja tells him where he can find these bounty hunters who took Leia, and he says, "You're not gonna be able to get in there." We learn quickly that this is a spice factory, so Kenobi goes in, and he works his way to the back, but he ends up getting ambushed by the bounty hunters, and yeah, they capture him. They take his lightsaber, but he throws the spice that he was given earlier on the ground to knock them all out and leave them kind of just hallucinating on the floor. Kenobi ends up finding Leia, although she does put up a fight, not realizing who he is. She kicks him and tries to run, but after a quick conversation, she leaves with Kenobi. So then we see Reva is approached by the Inquisitors and the Grand Inquisitor about kidnapping a senator's kid, and the Grand Inquisitor learns that this is only to gain favor with Vader, and he finds that out from the fifth brother. Obviously, they all have competition, but it seems like they don't really like Reva. They all find her kind of annoying, and the Grand Inquisitor says she is the lowest of them. She was only granted that station because of her power, and this power is what we actually see later, which is her mind probe that she uses on Haja, but we will talk about that later. So Reva obviously doesn't like being told to stand down by the Grand Inquisitor and orders a bounty on Kenobi. So obviously when the rest of the Inquisitors learn about this, they are not too happy, but basically this alerts every bounty hunter and everyone in the city to look out for Kenobi. So now Leia and Kenobi are on the run, and after getting into a scuffle in a back alley, Leia sees Kenobi's face on a bounty puck, and she loses faith in him and runs. Kenobi chases her, which I will say, some of the chase scenes in the show are not great. I felt like Kenobi should be able to catch this little girl. At one point, he was like right behind her, and then she got so far ahead of him that she was able to climb up the entire ladder, and he wasn't even there. So I don't know, the chase scenes are just kind of inconsistent and kind of all over the place. Not a huge fan of some of them, but not a huge blemish on the show. Some bounty hunters on the planet start chasing Kenobi, and we realize that that droid bounty hunter that was after Kenobi in the trailers is not 4-LOM. His name is actually One Jack One, I'm pretty sure. And we figure out that he is not 4-LOM because he dies, and we see 4-LOM in Empire Strikes Back and in a bunch of the comics, and yeah, like he's not dead by that time. So that is not 4-LOM. I will say, like, that's kind of a little bit, I feel like wasted potential, and I feel like it would have been a cool, like, little cameo and a cool little throw in, and it would make sense. He is a bounty hunter, right? So I feel like it would have been cool to have him in there, maybe Zuckuss, but I guess not. We will talk more about the bounty hunters later, but yeah, so it turns out it wasn't 4-LOM this whole time. Kind of disappointing. And Leia ends up jumping to get across, but she falls, and Kenobi saves her, and he's obviously really rusty, so this was very hard for him. He's only just able to slow her down at the last second, so he's clearly been cut off from the Force for a while. He's still very rusty. He's not sure his abilities. He's not confident in his abilities right now, and this is why he told Bail to find someone else. But then Haja, the fake Jedi, learns about Kenobi and goes to find him and gives him a ticket to get off-world on a cargo ship, probably because he feels bad from before and, maybe a bit of a fanboy of Jedis and stuff. And so Reva finds Haja after he gives that Kenobi and uses her mind probe ability that we talked about before. And so this is basically just being able to go into someone's mind and take the information that you want right out of their mind without their control. We've seen Maul do this. We've seen Kylo Ren do this. And yeah, it's a special ability not everyone has. So this is why when the Grand Inquisitor says, you were only given this station because of your abilities, I think that's what it was. The ability to gain information from people without, against their will is very useful when hunting Jedi. So I think that's what gave her her station. But, because she was a former Jedi and she came to them after, the Grand Inquisitor still calls her the lowest of them. So Kenobi is talking to Leia, and they have like a really good moment when she's talking to Kenobi and showing off how she is, her mannerisms and everything. And Kenobi says that she reminds him of someone, which I do think he is talking about Padme. Some people have speculated it's about Satine, but I think he's obviously talking about her mother. That just makes sense. She was a leader. She was a senator. She's a lot like Leia. That is her daughter for sure. So, yeah. Reva is then up near the cargo ship looking for Kenobi. Kenobi tells Leia to go off without him. He will catch right up. And Reva says, "We are going to take you to him. We are going to take you to Lord Vader." And Kenobi instantly realizes, that Anakin is alive. He does know that his name is Darth Vader from the recordings from the Jedi Temple. When he went back, he did see that Anakin was called Darth Vader. So, yeah, he does know that he is Darth Vader. And when he hears that, he has a bit of panic, and Reva is instantly able to pinpoint where he is because he's obviously giving off so much emotion. She says, "Your fear betrays you." And, this really hit Kenobi hard. And Reva is like surprised he didn't know. I mean, it has been 10 years, but yeah, she says, Anakin is alive. And this is something that I did not like. Reva knowing that Vader is Anakin is kind of off-putting for me. I don't think she should know. I don't think many people should know, because Vader himself, anyone that he knows who he was, he usually kills them. Besides, like, obviously Palpatine and Tarkin and maybe Thrawn, there's not many people who know he is Anakin, and he likes it that way. He doesn't want people to know that. So I don't think Reva should know. I don't know how she would know. I don't know if maybe she saw Anakin slaughtering younglings at the Jedi Temple, or maybe she found out with her mind probe from someone else. I'm not exactly sure how she found out, but it is a little off-putting that she does know. I wouldn't expect, some lower level Inquisitor to know that she's Anakin. I mean, that he's Anakin Skywalker. But I mean, anyway, she does move on, and she does say Anakin is alive. Obi-Wan starts to freak out kind of internally and panic, and she goes to get him. And then the Grand Inquisitor shows up, very mad with Reva, and he tries to get Kenobi himself, and he doesn't trust her. And he is then killed or stabbed by Reva. I mean, we're not exactly sure what went on here. We do know that the Grand Inquisitor is in Rebels, which takes place after this. So if this is the same Inquisitor, like if it's not like a clone, some people are speculating a bunch of different things right now. I'll tell you some of the speculations. So some people are saying he's a clone. Some people are saying, well, the Powans, because he's from Utapau, the Powans have two stomachs, so he's just going to take one to the gut and he'll be okay. Some people are saying he could have been saved in the world between worlds. Some people are saying some sort of Sith alchemy saved him. There's a lot of different, things going around right now. I do personally think that, because the Powans have two stomachs, I do think, he probably got stabbed in one. Maybe he'll be taken to a Bacta tank to recover for most of the show, and we probably won't see much of him for the rest of it, because in a couple of the trailer scenes when we're at the Inquisitor's base, he's not really in those scenes from what we've seen. We have seen Reva there with the rest of them, but we don't see him, so I don't think he's dead, because we do see him later. It wouldn't make any sense if he was dead, and they're not going to retcon Rebels, because it is canon. But it was just kind of weird to see that he got killed off kind of like very fast. I don't know. It was, I don't know. I didn't love that part as well, because it just doesn't make a lot of sense, but we'll see what they do with it in the next episode. And so Kenobi, seeing this, runs off to go meet back up with Leia and escape. And Kenobi is kind of having a panic attack on the ship. And when he really takes it in, he says Anakin. And we cut to the last shot of the episode, which is the first shot of Darth Vader in the show. And it is Hayden Christensen in Vader's Bacta pod. And he opens his eyes with the red Sith eyes. And I mean, it was a great ending to the episode. It got me so hyped for the next episodes. I am very excited. And yeah, I mean, overall, I really liked this episode. There were a few things I didn't love, like the Leia Kenobi kind of chase scene wasn't my favorite. That bounty hunter not being 4-LOM was also not my favorite. Reva was kind of annoying. Her killing the Grand Inquisitor made no sense to me. But the main core parts of this were good. We're on a new planet. Gives off lower level Coruscant vibes, which I really like. We have the chase of Kenobi through the streets and meeting Haja, who I actually liked as a character. I thought great. I love him as an actor. He's a great actor. But yeah, good character as well. And more Leia, which was great. More Kenobi, which is great. The final shot of Darth Vader really made the episode, I do think. But I love how they handled when he finds out Vader is alive. His panic attack, his whole kind of shutdown in that moment was very believable. It was really good, and I do really like it. I found the way that he found out was a little bit anticlimactic for me. I wanted it to be a little bit more... I don't know if I wanted him to find out from Reva of all people, but yeah, I mean, it was still really cool. But yeah, there's just a few things that I didn't really like, and I mean, the Grand Inquisitor being stabbed was kind of just weird for me. But yeah, overall, a really good episode. I'm very excited for the future of Kenobi. I did want to say I am going to be releasing another video soon, talking about some of the bounty hunters and stuff. What we could see in episode 3, so definitely stay tuned for that. And yeah, let me know what you guys thought of the second episode down below. It was a little bit shorter. I wish it was a little bit longer, but I'm definitely excited for the next 4 episodes of Kenobi. I'm very happy with how the show's been going so far. Some people have been complaining a lot about little things. Obviously, you can critique the show, and there are certain things that I don't love. But overall, I think the show has been really good, and I'm very happy with it. So anyway, guys, thank you guys for tuning in, and I will see you guys next time. Peace.